Hello everyone! This game was played between the magician Mikhail Tal and Fischer, so Fischer has the white piece. Let's start the game. Fischer opens with e4, Tal plays c5. Fischer said that Soviets were afraid to face Fischer with the Sicilian, but Tal said, "I'm not afraid to play it against you." So knight to f3, d6, and d4. So c capture, knight to f6, knight to c3 and a6. Tal goes for Najdorf variation. Fischer goes for bishop to c4, his standard move, e6, and bishop to b3, bishop to e7. We have f4, Tal castle, and queen to f3, queen to c7, Fischer castle, and b5 now, and here it's a very delicate position. Here a move like a3 will definitely favor white as stop this nasty b4 move getting the rid of knight on c3. But Fischer goes for early f5. Tal played b4, and now Fischer played knight to a4, and if he decided to go f5 immediately when Tal played b4, he should have gone for this f capture on e6 move with the idea that after b capture. Now he has e capture on f7 with check, king to h8, and now queen captures on c3. Now if you decide to capture the queen with the black queen, this doesn't favor black. After queen capture, pawn capture, you can grab material here because if knight capture, bishop to d5 attacks the knight and the rook. So after this queen captures on c3, black would play queen to b7, and now white can continue with bishop to g5 attacking the queen and the rook. Knight captures, pawn captures, and now it's a playable position. If you play queen capture now, you get bishop to h6. Now it's extremely dangerous and black has to be very careful what he does here. Of course you can't capture, because you get knight c6 with check, king has nowhere to go. You have to block this. There is nothing to block with. You have to block with the queen and knight capture queen and white wins the game. So after b4, pawn capture e6 seems reasonable since Fischer already played f5, but he decides to play knight to a4, and now Tal simply pushes e5, kicking the knight. So knight to e2, and now if you look at that position, the position with this knight on a4 and this knight on e2 isn't that great for white. Bishop to b7, now Tal will focus all of his pieces to go for the e for pawn. Knight to g3, and knight b to d7, we have bishop to e3, bishop to c6, and now bishop row f2, queen to b7, now attacking this e for pawn 3 times. As he moved his dark color bishop to f2, he makes room for the rook to guard the e for Owen. And now Tal play d5, and this is one of those moments in the life of Sicilian player. You were able to push d5 without ruining your position, you are doing great. E capture on d5, knight capture on d5, and knight to e4, and here Tal plays knight to f4, and now this knight is a monster. Fischer knight on e4 is pinned. It's not gonna be easy to get rid of this pin, and you can't get rid of the knight on f4. If you play g3, you lose the game immediately due to knight to h3 check, king moves and knight to g5 attack the queen, and having the triple attack on knight, you are simultaneously losing. Queen moves and knight capture. It's all over for white. So after knight to f4 move, Fischer tried c4, but now comes even greater idea. Here Tal played g6 with the idea of playing g captures on f5, attacking the pinned piece and winning the game. Fischer captures f capture on g6. And now comes immediate f5, Tal doesn't waste time. Here Fischer pushes g7, attacking Tal rook. We have king capture, and now queen to g1, finally getting rid of the pin. King to h8, and now knight to c5, attacking the queen. We have njate capture knight, bishop capture, knight capture, queen to c7, and this is too much. There is simply too many threats. Tal is threatening rook to g8, attacking the queen. When the queen moves, rook captures on g2 is coming, and also the g2 pawn is already attacked twice by the knight and by the bishop. And if this bishop ever move, there will be an open attack from the queen to the knight, so there is simply too many threats to handle. Fischer play queen to e3, and now comes rook to e8 defending the d5 pawn. Now there is no way to protect the pawn in g2. If you play g3, then knight to h3 check. King moves and f4, busting open the position, and this rook is coming into the game. It's all over. So rook a to e8, Fischer tried rook to e2. He decides he has to give some material to survive. Tal played knight captures on e2, queen captures, and now bishop capture on g2, completely shattering Fischer. And we said that if bishop ever moves, there is an open attack on knight. so Fischer grabs some material. Knight capture on a6, attacking Tal's queen and queen to a7 check, and now Fischer play king capture bishop. And now comes the idea rook to g8 check, and now Fischer definitely has some problem. If he tries something like king to f3, then after e4, it's all over. King has to come to f4, queen to b6, and there is no defense against queen to h6 checkmate. If Fischer would try to prevent this by playing something like queen to h5, then comes queen to f2, and it's again checkmate. So after this rook to g8 check, Fischer played king to h3, but now as you can see this rook is completely cutting the king off. The king is only allowed to move in h-file, and here's actually a force mate in 5 moves. So if you like to solve the position, you can pause the video and solve it. There is more than one move that is force mate on 4. Congratulations if you found it. In the game, Tal plays queen to g7 with the idea of queen to h6 checkmate, bishop to b1 with the idea of blocking the check with queen, and Tal plays rook to e5, and in this position Fischer resigns the game. Hope you liked the video. If you like it, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.